I mean, too early. Hello, welcome to another stream. How about that? How about that? Bet you didn't expect that shit to happen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today is what? Today is Wednesday, my dudes. I think that's what it is. Today is Wednesday. That means today, according to the skidoodle, we are supposed to be working on Z++. But since there's advent of code in place and my mental state is slowly deteriorating, first we need to solve one advent of code problem. And if we have, and only if, and only we have a little bit of time, only then we may work on Z++. So yeah, today is, we're gonna solve the day 23, I think, or 22. I think it's 22. I already lost the count. It's 22. The day 22. And the language of today, it is the law, by the way, that we have to use a different language every day. So the language of today is gonna be Groovy. Who heard about that boomer language? Did anyone hear about this boomer language? Yes, it is essentially like you know how Zoomers say that, oh, Kotlin is just a better Java. Well, guess what? And this is not the first. It's far from first attempt at making better Java. So people were trying to make a better Java since the existence of Java. Since the Java was born, people were constantly trying to make a better Java. So basically, as far as I know, Groovy is one of the first attempts at making better Java. So since then, there were a lot of them, I think. But yeah, Groovy, I think it's the first one. And it's actually quite popular scripting language. According to TO index, this is how it's pronounced, by the way, index. I think it's even like in top 20. Tom Scott cosplay today. I mean, I don't have a long hair, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's actually almost in top 10. It's almost top 10, like it's actually right there. And it's such like it feels like an underground language because you don't really hear about it that often, but it's there. It's even more popular than assembly. Imagine being more popular than assembly. Mein Gott. Anyway, so today we're going to program that language, and to be fair, I never programmed in that language. I actually saw that language being used a lot in the enterprise sector. So yeah, I fixed my headphones. It just was like a loose cable, so everything's okay. Yeah. Let's see what it's all about. How about that, boys and girls? How about that? Does it sound interesting? Sound interesting? Yeah. So let's go. So I'm gonna go here. I haven't read the description of the problem, by the way. I haven't read the description of the problem. So let me go to the AOC, fetch cron And let's go. More popular than... Well, it is what it is. I'm sorry, Agoduk. It is what it is. So, okay, I didn't do anything new, so I'm gonna just do 22 Groovy. 22 Groovy. There we go. So, the best Discord music bot. Okay. So, that language is that boomer. Okay. It's that boomer that it doesn't even go to the top results when you try to Google Groovy. All right, that's very interesting. So it's the second choice, okay. But I'm pretty sure since I click on the second link, if I try to look for Groovy, it's going to be the first one. No, it's still the first one. So the Google doesn't immediately process your data, right? It needs some time. So maybe we need to wait until the scheduled batch job overnight to process all of my personal data and come up with the recommendations. You know, the classical enterprise shit. So what can we download? Yeah, the logo is actually quite cool. Yeah, it's too complex for a logo, because a lot of people go for a much simplistic logo, right? But this one, it has a lot of like details, but it still works out and it's quite recognizable. It's actually pretty cool. For a complex logo, it's pretty cool. A fat learning curve. Are you trying to insult me? Well, I'm gonna take it as a compliment. Hello, Nafli, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Well, just draw star and write Groovy on top, I guess. Well, I mean, it has like a very fancy font, that's what I would say. It's a very fancy font. It's much more complex than, for example, Apple logo or something, I don't know. Okay, let's download this shit. How about that? So you can download it here, apparently, because it's a big download button. And it's downloading it. It's that simple. Holy shit! You can clearly see that it's a very old language. When you can go to the website, you can click on download and it will start downloading things. Because these days, if you go to a Zoomer language, right, and for example, you click on get started, this is the shit you'll have to deal with. Copy-paste this line into your bash, run this script, install our special tool to install it, get fucked in the ass without the lube, and stuff like that. So, yeah, so this is like a clear example of the Zoomer language, and this is a clear example of the Boomer language. You just click download, and it starts downloading. So, yes, that's simple. Like, you know, these were simpler times. Anyway, so it downloaded it. Let's go. I didn't have to download C to use it. Well, you had to download the distro, I suppose, first. Is it bad or good that you prefer Boomer approach? It's different. I don't know. Doesn't matter. To be fair, I personally don't like this approach. Like, it's just too many steps and too unnecessary things. Like, just give me the file that works. Why can't you make a file that just works? Why do you need like these extra layers of abstractions on top of it? It's just, it doesn't make much sense to me. Okay, so, and I'm gonna just move this entire thing. Where is it? I think, oh, it's Apache Groovy. Okay, so I'm gonna move it here. Zip INSL, and yeah, okay, so this is not a zip bomb, so that means I can quite safely just unpack it here. And it's gonna work, hopefully. Holy shit, that's a lot of files. Okay, if I take a look at the size of the unpacked thingy, what's the size of the unpacked thingy? Okay, it's bigger than Scala, by the way, but maybe Groovy comes with a lot of batteries and shit, so maybe we can use that. Okay, let's take a look at what we have here. Okay, so we have been, so essentially this is like a package, and it also has the source code. Is that the source code of the Groovy itself? Maybe, it doesn't matter. So let's take a look at the binaries. So we have grape. What is grape? But we do have a Groovy. And what is a Groovy? I would presume it's some sort of a bash script. Yes, it is in fact a bash script that just runs the Groovy. And it runs another script that is called start Groovy or something. Yeah, layers upon layers. Is that supposed to be like a swear word? That's a very interesting way of spelling uni. That's funny. Okay. Eunuchs, yes. This is a bad word. It's a very bad word. Don't ever say it. We didn't say it that word over here, okay? Okay. So people usually put a star at U, indicating that there is a lot of nixes, right? Because, you know, and Linux actually kind of breaks that, but this is really weird. Clearly it was a joke. Maybe it's a trademark, but you can also avoid a trademark by doing star nicks. I mean, quite easy to do that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So if I try to run this thing, it probably will require JVM. And yeah, it does require a Java home to be set up. Okay, so let's actually do source opt java environment, and now we have everything. Would you look at that? We have Groovy. How about that? How about that? So maybe I'm gonna move Groovy to my opt folder. And have a special environment that I can set up and just use Groovy on all of the binaries from the path folder. So I'm gonna move Apache Groovy to opt. I usually also move the archives there as well, just in case. I mean, and I need to have a permission to do that. Okay, and then I can try to move the folder Groovy, right? The folder Groovy. Oh shit! Am I doing something incorrect? I think I fucked something up. Did I really fuck something up? Wait a second. No, I didn't. Like, why did it start like moving everything? This was really strange. Okay, let me do the following thing. You used V. I was hoping that it will show only the folder single, because moving the folder is gonna... Okay, maybe I may be missing something. Sorry. So I'm gonna remove this thing real quick, and then I'm gonna do sudo unzip Apache Groovy like from inside of it. So I think I'm thinking a bit bigger. Yeah, I think I am. Okay, so there's something really strange. So let me copy Scala environment. So this is going to be Scala environment. I'm going to create a Groovy environment. You can do that because you have to do it like that. And then we're going to do sudo Groovy environment sh. And do I need to set up a home for this thing? I don't think I'm going to do that. And so if I go somewhere here, opt, where is the Groovy? So here is the Groovy. And I'm gonna... Is Groovy home even a thing? Because a lot of like a JVM things... Oh yeah, Groovy home is a thing. Take me Java home. So yeah, majority of like JVM languages, they have this interesting pattern that where you have to set up language underscore home for them, so they know where is their installation. And I think it comes from the Java home convention. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense. Okay, so instead of that, we're gonna have a Groovy home. And a boom, and then I can do something like replace Scala with Groovy, please, Mr. Vim. Thank you so much. Cool. This is a Groovy path, and everything is okay. Hopefully everything is okay. So then I'm gonna do source Groovy environment, please, and I'm gonna go back to Zozin AOC 2020. Do I have Groovy here? Do I have Groovy? I do have mother flipping Groovy. Cool. So I'm gonna go here and we're gonna write hello world. We're gonna write our first program in Groovy. We're gonna Google it up. Groovy hello world. Cool. Yeah, exactly. So oh wait, it's that simple. Are you fucking shitting me? Okay, main Groovy. Is that extension of this thing? Yeah, it is the extension, cool. So print ln. Okay, Vim can highlight all of that, which is already pretty cool. And if I do Groovy, main Groovy, is it gonna execute it or do something about it? I mean, JVM language, by the way. Holy shit, why? Okay, now I understand why this language became so popular. That shit is easy to set up. First of all, you just download the archive, and the syntax is pretty straightforward. It's like programming in Python, right? So remember how I complained about Java for education, right? Is that you have to do public class main, public static void, and you have to explain that to students, and you have to tell them, don't worry about classes, we haven't learned them. Here you can just start teaching programming like right away. Println, you want to print something to the screen, println. So yeah. Is it as easy as Ruby, sir? I have no idea. I see this language for the first time in my life. Why do you ask me? Like, I know as much as you. So, cool. Do we even have Emacs support for this shit? Let's find out. We do have Vim though, just in case. What about Emacs? What about Emacs? Emacs doesn't have it by default, but maybe we can install it. Let's take a look at it. Okay. Groovy, not Groovy, but Groovy. Okay, so there is something. Okay, sorry. 72 stars. Seriously? Groovy Emacs modes. So there's several of them. Okay, so there's so many Groovy Emacs modes, you need a whole fucking organization to to support them. Okay, let's take a look at them. I want to see all of the Groovy modes, please. Oh, there is only one. Okay, so it's an organization dedicated specifically to a single Groovy Emacs mode. Oh, it's actually okay. There are several of them, but they're located in a single repo. Okay, they're located in a single repo. Oh yeah, so I heard that there is like several like dialects for Groovy. Yeah, I can see that. Emacs 24 plus. Holy shit, I remember that one. I was still in university when Emacs 24 was a thing. These days we have like Emacs 28 or something. That's a very boomer Emacs. So it works on a very boomer Emacs. Boomer Emacs for a boomer language. I kind of dig this language. Look at that. It's actually... Maybe it is, in fact, a better Java. Who knows? We're about to find out. So where is my list of these things? And Groovy mode. Please install Mr. Emacs. 27.1 is the current one, 27.2 is the around the corner, 28 is in development. Ah, but I heard people talking about 28, so I thought maybe that's the current one. Is this a worse Java? I don't know. So far, it's better. Okay, so it's better that it doesn't require like... Oh, is there a worse Java? I don't know. What could be worse than Java? Cabal? I don't know. Cabal is the worst Java. Nothing much to say, because any other languages that mimic Java, they're usually better than Java. C# is definitely better than Java. Holy fuck! I really like C#. I think it was a cool language. Okay, so let me open the... Oh, there you go. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Hello world support. Haha, haha. Okay, so if I run Emacs from within the development environment, C# is better than... Yeah, I can confirm that. Why is Java bad? Who said that Java bad? Who said that? We're not talking about absolute values, we're talking about relative ones. Okay, so can I do something like Groovy main Groovy? Is it gonna work? It's gonna take some time, so the iteration cycle is gonna be quite slow. But what kind of other utilities we even have there? OPT Groovy, bin, and this is not really what I wanted, but... oh, wait a second. Groovy C. Groovy SH Okay, first of all, Groovy SH. We have shell. Chat, we have shell. Which is very slow, by the way, but I mean, we do have it. Holy shit, it's slow. Okay. Wait, maybe it already started? No, it didn't start yet. Oh, okay, so I think it's worse than Scala and Kotlin like together, but the evaluation is quite fast. The evaluation is quite fast. So and we do have something called Groovy C, right? Groovy C. So that means that it will compile our Groovy program into the JVM bytecode. Look at that, and then I can do something like main, and couldn't find class main. Okay, so which one? Okay, it is not main apparently. So Java P, how do you disassemble? I don't remember. Is it Java? Yeah, there we go. It's called Groovy lang class main. Okay. Huh. It doesn't even have an entry point. That's what's interesting about it. Yeah, it doesn't have an entry like a pro. Oh, here it is. Here is the entry point. I actually fucked up. Okay. All right. So, but I don't think we're gonna use it much. Yeah, it still says main not found. Oh, this is because it couldn't find the script because it extends the Groovy lang script. So yeah, you need a class path. Whatever, we're probably not gonna use that anyway. So we're probably gonna only run our program like this. So I think this is sufficient enough. Class path, yeah, class path is in Java is the biggest pain in the ass. To be fair, like holy fuck. Typical Java experience, yeah, typical Java experience. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna create a makefile. And we're gonna just have a test, which is a phony target, right? It's just a phony target, and it's gonna be test, depends on main Groovy. And it's gonna also depend on a bunch of inputs, and the inputs are gonna be what? We're gonna have samples, free samples, txt, we're gonna have like some numbers here, 69420, of course, we need to add those as well. And we're gonna do Groovy, main Groovy, and also inputs. There we go. So if I try to just do make, is it gonna do the trick? Is it gonna do the trick? All right. So let me see. Let me see. And how can we parse command line arguments? Groovy command line args. Let's find out. How to capture arguments passed to a Groovy script. That's a good question. Oh, if you want more advanced parsing, okay. I like how this is like has low amount of upvotes and accepted, and is bigger and not accepted. Classical Stack Overflow, by the way. Okay, it's just literally called args, so that means I can do something like args, and then I can go here, and it's probably gonna just give me the list of these arguments, and it does contain sample, which is cool. So the next thing I want to do, I want to be able to do a for each. How do you do for each in Groovy? The cool thing about this language is that it's popular, right? It is popular, and there's a lot of information on the internet. As simple as, okay, so I can do something like args and do each, right? So I have a key, but I don't have to have a key. Alright, so this looks weird, like it's trying to be like functional and something, but I think I'm gonna go with this one. Oh, it also has a def keyword. Oh, it is literally a Python on JVM, even though I think we have a Python on JVM, Jython. Oh, holy shit, by the way, is Jython a separate language? Can I use Jython as a separate language? I mean, probably not, because it's technically Python, it's just a Python on JVM, right? So maybe I cannot use that. I think it's going to be a little bit cheaty. Okay, so if I do something like print ln arg, I like the simplicity of the syntax. It's like, it feels nice. It's ergonomic scripted Java with inspiration from Python and Ruby. I can see that. That's actually cool. Okay, how do you define a function or procedure? Groovy. function. Groovy functions, okay. Code Maven. You just do def. Holy shit, I like that. Def solve file, and I might provide like a file path, right? So this is going to be file path, and solve file path. And we're going to do println. Is there a string interpolation yet again? Groovy string interpolation. Let's find out. Have you tried VLang? Yes, I have tried it. String interpolation. Okay. Nice. Yes. Holy shit. Can we have something like that, but not on JVM, please? Okay. Okay, so it does work. Nice. Hello, I'm a robot. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so what's gonna be the next one? The next one is gonna be reading the file, right? So Groovy, read file. Is there like an easy way to read the file? Reading the file on Groovy. Hello, Rookie VM. Hello, that random tanker. By the way, hello everyone. Hello, Iguduk, Xiang. Hello. I'm sorry if I didn't say hello to all of you. So you can. Okay, that's very interesting. Using file for each. Alright. This one is interesting. Can we use something like this? Do we need to do like each line, or maybe I can do something like file path. So here's the input file, and then each line. Is it gonna work? And it does in fact work. Would you look at that? Okay. Groovy string. I'm pretty sure you can do something like, let me see, like parse int, because this is how you do that in Java, because it has like an interrupt between Java. So can I do something like this? Should be able to do that, right? I don't remember if it's a parse int or something else. And it is not parse int. Okay. Groovy parse int. How do you parse an integer? Convert string to integer in Groovy. Okay. To integer. Okay. So it's gonna be something like to integer, and we're gonna add 69 there, of course. And let's see. The compilation times are beautiful. Okay, it works. That's pretty cool. So I would say I can program in this language. For sure. So, and I think I'm ready to read the description of the problem, because yeah. So I was just familiarizing myself with the language, right? So I discovered the main things that I'll probably need for like getting the information into the language and so on and so forth. But maybe there's another thing I would like to do. Like, can I just iterate lines and stuff like that? Also, I think this is more important. Can we have API documentation? API documentation, where is it? Groovy docs documentation on Groovy API. Okay, so what? Oh, holy shit! It has like a Java. Okay, that's nice. That's very fucking nice. Okay, so can I find the file? Does it have a search anywhere here? So maybe we can do something like this. Okay, so it uses Google to search. Okay, sure. It's Java IO file, isn't it? But yeah, but each line. Wait, is each line a Java thing as well? Java docs. Java documentation is beautiful. It's one of the reasons why it became a popular language, right? So because it's just so easy to find any documentation. Like I said, it's easy to find any documentation. Okay, so and this is like Java 7. Can we have 8, please? Which is the current Java, by the way? So I think I have Java 13. So I'm gonna go with the Java 13. So we already found file. Okay, so first I want to take a look. Okay, it didn't help. It actually redirected me to some bullshit. Okay, so where is the Groovy development? I wish the stuff was easier to Google up or search. So somewhere in IO, right? So we have to have. I can't even click anywhere here, unfortunately. Oh, I saw Groovy IO, but I missed it. Here it is. So here's the Groovy IO. And the classes, we don't even have classes here. So that it also gives you documentation for Java IO. That's really strange. How does that make any sense? Okay, let me take a look. Well, it's not really helpful. So it accepts a closure, and what is a closure? A closure is also. This is not helpful. I need a way to find it myself. Okay, index. Maybe we can take a look at the index. File. So maybe I'll have to. Maybe I'll have to take a look at that. Oh shit, it's slow. Oh shit, it's slow. Like, why can't you just have like a proper documentation? It just parses all of these things and it's super slow. And documentation is just so bad. I wish it would. Oh my god. Like, I mean, the search for documentation is actually bad, but Groovy docs file. How am I supposed to search anything? Am I supposed to use Google? Apparently I'm supposed to use Google. Okay. Holy fuck. That's bad. That's very bad. The interface is so trashy. Anyway, so let's take a look at the problem itself. So today we're solving the 22nd problem. 22nd problem, and again, I haven't read the description of the problem yet. So this is gonna be me reading it for the first time. So, and keep in mind that I'm very stupid. I'm extremely fucking stupid. So, and also, you know, Java is my English is my second. You see? So I just confirmed the first statement. Anyway, let's actually read it. Okay. Crab combat. Holy shit! I should have actually picked Rust on that one. Yes. Rust is the perfect language for this problem. Unfortunately, we already wasted Rust. Instant clue. Did I look like a criminal without the glasses? Hopefully I did not. Okay. Crab combat. Unfortunately, Rust. We can't use Rust for this one. It only takes a few hours of sailing the ocean on a raft for boredom to sink in. Unfortunately, you brought a small deck of space cards. Okay, so space cards. Let's see. Is that a cross-reference? Is that it's a 2019. Is that a cross-reference? Do I have to know the whole lore of Advent of Code to understand this problem? Who knows? Who knows? So, a deck of space cards. You'd like to play a game of combat. We can click that, I don't know what it is. And there is even an opponent available, a small crab that climbed aboard your raft before you left. That's a very depressing problem so far. Fortunately, it doesn't take long to teach the crab the rules. Well, the rules are definitely very simple. Before the game starts, split the cards so each player has their own deck, your puzzle input. Then the game consists of series of rounds. Both players draw their top card, and the player with the higher valued card wins the round. The winner keeps both cards, replacing them on... Okay, the player keeps both cards, replacing them on the bottom of their own deck, so that the winner card is above the other card. If this causes a player to have all of the cards, they win and the game ends. For example, consider the following starting decks. Okay, So this arrangement means the player 1 deck contains 5 cards with 9 on top and 1 on the bottom. Player 2 deck also contains 5 cards with 5 on top and 10 on the bottom. The first round begins with both players drawing the top cards of their deck, 9 and 5. Okay, that makes sense, 9 and 5. Player 1 has the higher card, so both cards move to the bottom of the player 1's deck such that 9 is above 5. Okay, so 9, 5, and alright, the biggest like one goes to the top. The first round begins. The first round begins with both players drawing the top card of the. Okay. In total, it takes 29 rounds before a player has all of the cards. Okay, this looks like very easy to simulate. Alright, that's actually pretty cool. So every time he says deck, I lose my shit. Are you on the toilet? Okay. Once the game ends, you can calculate the winning player's score. The bottom cards in their deck is worth the value of the card multiplied by 1. The bottom cards in their deck, the single bottom in their deck is worth the value of the card multiplied by 1. Why is, okay, the second from the is worth multiplied by 2 and so on. With 10 cards, top card is worth the value card multiplied by 10. Scott Dev is gifting a tier 1 sub to Her Hudson Blood. Thank you, Scott Dev, for supporting the channel. And Her Hudson Blood, welcome to our epic advent of Code Club. How about that? How about that? Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, second, okay, multiply. So this is the deck, and we start from the bottom, and this is the score. So once the game ends, the winning player's score is 306. Play the small crap in a game of combat using the 2 decks you just dealt. What is the winning player's score? So far, so good, I guess. So far, so good. You just simulate that and, you know, give it a score. It's just a simulation. I'm good at simulating things. Alright, let's take a look at the input. How big is the input? So I'm pretty sure the part 2 is going to be, you know, a little bit more difficult. Maybe I can imagine part 2 being find the arrangements of the cards for both players so the winner has the maximum available score. So, and that's already a little bit difficult to implement, and but I think with this amount of things you can still sort of simulate it. So the amount of cards actually is pretty small. So I could imagine that the game will ask you to brute force all the possible combinations and to find the combination that maximizes the final score. I could imagine this being a part 2, but again, I never actually read this problem before, and as you can see, I didn't even solve it, so I don't know what is the second part. So, but this like sounds like a plausible second part, to be fair. Oh no, rules, never read Kappa. Yes, yeah, I just googled it before the stream, and I already know the solution for everything, sure. Okay. So let's take a look at the sample. All right, well, maybe we're gonna start with the sample because that's easier to deal with. So a sample is gonna be this shite. Boom. So, and then I'm gonna remove everything else. And we already know how to parse these kind of lines, so which is actually pretty cool. And then I'm gonna also put an input here, so we're gonna have actually 2 samples here. The input is pretty small. I really like that. Cool. So yeah. So how are we gonna do all of that? We can try to parse the file. Is there something like array list in a Groovy? Groovy array list, is that a thing? So you have a list, which is already pretty good, but it's an interface. It's just an interface. Working with collections. Let's actually learn how to work with collections. So you can define a list, and you can just do it. Oh, you can literally do array list, and that will work for you as well. Because array list is convenient because you can push into it, right? You can push into it, and that's quite convenient. So, can you define like structures or something like that? Groovy. Oh, you can define classes. That's for sure. I'm pretty sure you can define classes. Object-oriented. Groovy is object-oriented, by the way. Did you guys know that? Okay, so the thing I want to do... oh, and it accepts like types and shit. Is that really Groovy? Yeah, it is Groovy. Okay. So maybe I can do something like struct, not an struct, but class, object oriented, yes. So this is going to be the input, let's call them dex, dex, and it's going to be a list of strings, let's call them integers, I suppose, player 1, and this is going to be player 2. So let's see if it's gonna work. Groovy object oriented, yes. By the way, hello to Gorilla, hello slightly old meme, hello, hello. I use the deck to represent the deck. Well, isn't that the pun behind the deck? I'm pretty sure, like deck is like a double-ended Q, and at the same time the name was chosen to actually, yeah, pronounced like deck. It's like it's an intentional pun, I think. But yeah, it is quite funny. I think it is quite funny. All right. So this is dex, and we can do something like parse file, right? We're gonna accept file path, and I'm pretty sure I don't have to specify what this thing returns or anything. I can do dex, new dex. My fingers are trying to type Docker. I don't even use Docker. What the fuck? Okay, don't even use Docker. It still tries to do that. Do I have to do like semicolons or something? Pretty sure I don't have to do that. So this is what we're gonna put here, and then we're gonna have def dex parse file path. There we go. And then we're probably gonna have something like part 1 dex, and I will be able to do something like part 1. And just print this beautiful thing. There we go. His alter ego uses Docker. I mean, I use Docker for Hyper Nerd. So the one that is not bald. Yes. Every time I change my hairstyle, I become literally a different person. Okay. The one that drinks coffee, yes. So here we're parsing. First, we need to skip one line. I think we need to skip one line. There's no like easy way to skip one line. Unless you have some sort of a variable, right? You have some sort of a variable that represents like a title, right? If title, right, we skip it, and then we make it false, right? Otherwise, if line is empty, right, we have to stop iterating the thing or something. It would be easy. Okay, can I just collect this thing into a list? Can I collect it into a list? Parsing it in an imperative way is actually quite painful. Groovy docs file. So, do you know how many of them he has? There may be several dozens. Yes. Each line. Okay, cool. Can I do just lines? Read. Oh yes, yes. Read lines, and then I want to just print that, and I'm pretty sure I should be able to print that. Cool. Let me see. It's probably not gonna compile. Does this language inherit Java's awful error messages? Yes, of course. Of course it does. Okay, so here are the strings, right? And then it failed because no signature method is applicable, something. Because I didn't even have a method called part1, right? So it's gonna be part1, and we accept dex. That's what we're doing, we accept dex. Cool. So not actually better than Java. Yes. So what's next? Now let's take a look at the lists. What can we do with the list? So it actually redirects to here, and is it possible to split the list? Splitterate. They have a class called Splitterator. Okay. For traversing partitional elements of a source. And wall of text, of course. Without any examples. Like, really, like, who do they expect gonna read all that? But maybe some people do, I don't know, maybe. So I want to take a look. Splitterator. Oh my god, and it reset to the beginning. It reset to the beginning. It's reset to the beginning. But maybe that's okay. Because it will make it easier for me to skip all of that. Maybe it will make it easier for me to skip. So Groovy split list. Maybe Groovy actually, how to split the list into equal size lists in Groovy? Okay, maybe Groovy has something convenient for that, because obviously in Java it's a little bit painful. Partition count times. Okay, you can do something like that. And what is the method you use? You do that? Array size, partition times. Okay, Groovy list API. Interface list. Split. Split all elements into two collections based on the closure condition. Okay. Okay. So that's actually pretty cool. Then split. Oh, you can even do something like that. It. Oh shit! It has it like Kotlin. Yeah, like Kotlin. It equal this thing empty. Is it gonna give us something better? I think it will give us something better. Okay. Huh. So it didn't work. Right. So it definitely didn't work. I wonder why though. So maybe it's because it has to be something like length equal 0, but maybe we'll also have to trim it. Maybe we have to trim it. Ah, I see. Okay. I see what it is. Split. Do we have any other splits in here? Yeah, okay, so it actually separates. Okay, I see. So for the true one, it goes into... I see. There's no more convenient way to do that. Collate. I don't know what that word means though, so that's probably why I didn't think about it. Collate. Okay. Maybe. Okay, let's whatever. So maybe I should stop like trying to do all of these things and just, you know, implement everything like myself. This we can start like iterating the lines, and it's not going to be that different from this, but I can do something like this. I can have the current line, so something like index, and initially it's going to be actually 1, and while lines index, I hope it's going to work, by the way. Index is like a length greater than 0. We are collecting all of that into the dex player 1. I think it's gonna be like push lines index. What was that? To integer. I think it was to integer, something like this, and we have to increment it. So maybe we can do it like 4. Is there like a classical 4 thingy? Maybe it doesn't matter. So then I can do +1. Is it? Probably not. Okay, so once we parse this thing, I also think we need to return dex, but maybe not return, but just println it. We're gonna println it for now. Hello, Panapodi, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Can it evoke method push? So what is the list? What is the method to push into the list? Push. It's literally called push. Very interesting. So this is the list, and I cannot push it into it. Cannot push it on a null object. Really? Okay. So do I have to do something like? Maybe I can do something like this. Can I do something like this? It's a JVM language. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. Okay, so, and it didn't really print anything. Nice one. Okay, maybe I can overload like to string for it to print anything, but would be nice to have that. Yeah, Groovy override to string. Yeah, it's essentially, it has the same problem as Java, because it's a JVM language, classical JVM language. So object meta, you can literally do it like that. So it's even compatible with the syntax like of Java. You can probably even grab some Java things and just copy paste them in Groovy and use them. Okay, so this one is going to be something like string to string, and of course it has to be overridden, override, and I think we're going to just return something like this, player 1, and maybe we're going to put it like that. Player 2, and I'm pretty sure like the toString for lists is already okay. All the Java code is a valid Groovy code. Oh, interesting. So it's like a superset of Java. Oh, there you go. It kind of worked. So if I take a look at the sample, it's actually okay. It pushed it. Okay, it pushed it at the front. Is there any way to push that at the back? Is there like a C? Really? Add. Why didn't they call them push back and push front? Why do you have to memorize that? Push it at the front and add at the end. Like, how does it make any sense? This is really a bad naming. But I mean, I programmed, yeah, Simon. I already forgot everything. About Java. I'm sorry. So it's add. Okay. Cool. We're getting there, chat. We're getting there. Don't worry about it. Okay, so that's a good one. So once it becomes equal to that, I'll have to do something like this, and I'm pretty sure I don't even need this kind of thing, and I need to repeat all of that up until, I suppose, index is less than line's length. Right, and we're gonna push that into the second one, and let's see if it's gonna work or not. Just use the def somewhere, and then it's not the Java anymore. Yes, it literally becomes Python. And no signature method array length. Is it size? Probably size. So probably say hello, Mustafa. Hello, hello. Okay, and I forgot that I actually have to step 2 steps because the player 2. Because of Z player 2. Okay, cool. We parsed both of them. Nice. It took an hour to parse to parse these things, but we managed to do that anyway. So I'm really proud of myself, by the way. Cool. And now in here, so actually supposed to return this thing and does Groovy win? Yes. Why are you still in part 1? Because I'm dumb. I'm sorry. I'm not really good at this advent of code thingy. Just use mesh shaders. Yeah, that would solve everything. Okay, so now we need to simulate, right? Now we need to simulate. So we look at the top, and you can use instead of add. Cool, I didn't know that. It's almost like C++. It's almost like C++. Oh my god. Okay. So let's implement a function called simulate, like a game, like simulate game, and it will accept the dex. Right. So, and we're gonna simulate the game, and we'll have to return the winner score, like the winner score dex, and we can just return that. It's gonna be a separate thing. Winner score dex. So essentially, it will just look at the at the one that is empty. But we can implement that a little bit later. Can I assert things? Okay, I can actually assert things. I can do false when not implemented, and can I do something like this here as well? And let's just try to run it. Yep. And unexpected. Really? I have no opportunity to it's a colon. It's a Java assert, remember? Wait. Colon? Did I forget something about Java assert? Don't you add a statement? I add statements every day, believe it or not. I forgot about that, actually. That's a really strange... Okay. Cool. So, alright. Completely forgot about this one. Sure. Not implemented. So let's see if the same syntax. I mean, yeah, if Groovy is a superset of Java, that should work. A superset. And yes, it worked. Beautiful. As you can see, it says not implemented. Nice. I didn't use assert in Java ever. This is because you don't program in Java, right? Okay. While I would say dex player 1 size is not equal to 0 and player 1 and the size of the second player also not equal to that, right? We take a look at their dex. Dex player 1. So, and if this is so, are they ever equal? Okay, doesn't matter, we can put an assertion there. Dex player 2 0 if they're greater. Can you do else if? No, it has to be done like that. And the other condition is gonna be, did you manage to solve part 2 yesterday? Yes, I managed to solve the part 2. By the way, hello Annabeth, welcome to the stream. Hello everyone who just joined recently. So actually solving part 2 is super easy if you figure out part 1. They are very related to each other. So once you solve part 1 of the yesterday's problem, like part 2 is just like an extension of part 1. Alright, they're not ever equal because either player 1 or player 2 gets 7 cards, etc. It doesn't really confirm anything, in my opinion at least. So is that, and here we're gonna put the following thing. It's gonna be assert false unreachable state of the game. So I'm not gonna handle that situation. I'm gonna just throw an assertions in this case, and if this ever happens, well, only then we're gonna investigate. Until it happens, whatever. So now I need a way to remove the card from the player, right? So we can do pop, right? Remove the initial item from the list. This is similar to pop on a stack where the first... The initial... You mean the first one? Who calls the first element of collection initial item? Who on earth does that? The initial, okay. Well, yeah. I'm forced to write Java. Oh my god, my controls. Sorry. The one you initialized with. Alright. Cool, and that's probably what we want to do here, right? So, it's going to be A, B, so it's going to be Dex player 1 pop, and then the second one, right. And the biggest go first, right? The biggest go above, right? So this is not, and then it goes like that. The biggest goes first. So then what we have to do here, so the player 1 won Zulu, and it's going to be player 1 add. So A is the biggest one. Maybe we're gonna call them A1 and A2, so it's a little bit easier for me to comprehend. A2, cool. To be fair, I can probably simplify this entire stuff by making them like that. So this is going to be just A1, this is going to be A2, and in here, yeah, so this one is going to be as well A1, A2 is going to be deck player 2, add A2, A1. So this is how it's going to go. And I guess that's it. Like, I didn't see anything special here. It's just, you know, the usual thing. And we can try to simulate the game. Let's just return 69 for now. And after simulation, I can try to print the decks just to confirm that we simulated everything correctly. Who's Haskell? It's one of those mathematicians. The famous mathematician. No such property deck for class main. Where exactly that happened, please? Can I see? Because it's called decks, not a single deck, but decks. Yeah, Haskell Gopnik. Yes, I know that one. Haskell Gopnik. Nice. So that's really interesting. So who won? The player 2 won, and I think it's like equal exactly to that. I think we managed to simulate that. And we won, yes, Zulu. We won Zulu. And we just need to do a winner score. So this is how we're going to do that. Dex player 1 length equals 0. We're going to return Dex player 1. Otherwise, we're going to return Dex player 2. And we're gonna just introduce the deck. So it's gonna be something like this. So it doesn't even allow me Okay, is that how I do that? I guess this is how I'm gonna do that. We need to iterate from the right. Right, we need to iterate from the right. Well, is there opposite of pop? Is there opposite of pop that remove? I think it should be called remove. Do you have something like remove? You do have something like remove, but where is it? Remove at one. Remove last. Okay, removing first is called pop. Removing last is called remove last. I think I do not regret actually not using Java anymore, to be fair. I'm sorry if it was too loud. Okay. So this is going to be the result. So what essentially we're doing, I think I'm going to start by having like n as the size of the deck. So this is going to be the size of the deck. And yeah, you should be able to do things like this. Size. Thank you. I keep forgetting about that. We have to iterate it like this, by the way. It's going to be n. And result is going to be plus I multiply deck remove last. Cool. That's the whole thing, and then we can return a result. Then we can return a result. We don't need to print anything here. And what do we have? What do we have? $306. 306. How about that? And it is 306. So the next thing is going to be make file. It's going to be sample input.txt, and let's see. Yeah, so in Haskell it would be way easier. I do agree with that. 35397. Okay. So are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Oh, nice. First mother flipping try. How about that? Who's that good cooter? So part 2. Holy shit. Okay, so I think I need to pee first before I go into the part 2. 1-star def. Alright, so let's make a small break. I first need to Google how to solve the second part. I didn't Google it before the stream. So let's do a 2 minutes break. And then once I Googled up the solution, we can continue. Okay, so alright, let's make a small break and you guys have fun. Yo, what's up, Epic Gamers? How's it going? I'm back. Back. Okay. part 2. You lost to this lost to a crab. How about that? Have you found the solution? Yes, of course. I know how to solve the second part. Don't worry about it. Lost to a crab. Fortunately, crabs aren't very good at recursion. To defend your honor as a raft captain, you challenge a small crab to a game of recursive combat. Holy shit. Recursive combat still starts by splitting the cards into 2 decks. You offer to play with the same starting decks as before, it's only fair. Then the game consists of a series of rounds with a few changes. Okay. Before either player deals a card, if there was a previous round in this game that had exactly the same cards in the same order in the same player decks, the game instantly ends in a win for player 1. What does it mean? I don't understand what that means. If there was a previous round, so a single round is basically drawing a card, right? So let me understand what is a round. So yeah, a single round, it's a draw. Okay, cool. There was a previous round in the game that had exactly the same cards in the same order in the same player's decks. The game instantly ends in a win for player 1. Previous rounds for other games are not considered. This prevents infinite games of recursive combat, which everyone agrees is a bad idea. Okay, otherwise this round's cards must be in a new configuration. The players begin the round by each drawing the top cards of their deck as normal. If both players have at least as many cards remaining in their decks as the values of the card they just drew, the winner of the round is determined by playing a new game of recursive combat, see below. Otherwise, at least one player must not have enough cards left in their deck to recurse. The winner of the round in the player with the higher value card. I didn't understand shit. Like, what the fuck are you trying to tell me? Series of rounds with a few changes. Before either player deals a card, if there was a previous round in this game that had exactly the same card. Okay. Reading puzzle again. Yeah, it's a reading puzzle yet again. As in regular combat, so the winner of the round, if they won the round by winning a sub-game, takes the 2 cards. Okay. As in regular, the winner, so you have sub-games essentially. So you have a game and then you have a sub-game. That's why it's recursive. And then, so you basically, when you start the sub-game, you put the previous one on the stack and the previous one on the stack. And then once you finish a sub-game, you return back. And okay, so that's very interesting. So the winner of the round, if they won the round by winning sub-game, takes the 2 cards dealt. The winner of the round, even if they won the round by winning a sub-game, takes the both cards dealt at the beginning of the round and places them on top of their own deck again, so that the winner card is above the other card. Note that the winner's card might be the lower value of 2 cards. Note that the winner's card might be the lower value of the 2 cards. If they won the round due to winning a sub-game, if collecting cards by winning the round causes a player to have all of the cards they win and the game ends. Here's an example of small game that would loop forever without infinite game prevention loop. Okay. And there is this wall of text. Okay. During a round of recursive combat, if both players have at least as many cards as their own decks as the number of the cards they just dealt, the winner of the... Holy shit, what do you want from me? For example, if player 1 draws the player 3, the player 2 draws the 7 card, they would occur with player 1. I don't understand what this means. To play some game of recursive, each player creates a new deck by making a copy of the next cards in their decks. The quantity... Maybe I shouldn't read that, because this is not helpful at all. Maybe I just look into the example, because holy shit. Okay. So here is the decks for the player 1. Oh, so I thought the example is gonna be like this one, but this is actually previous example. Wait a second. Like, why do you show that example and you don't show a log for that one, but then you show... This is so bad. Holy fuck. Okay, so maybe for me to understand, I just need to trace this example, but it's really, really bad. Okay, game 1. So you, the player 1 wins the round of the game 1. Okay. We want 2 players a round of the game 2. The game 1, the game 2, game 1. Okay, player sub-game to determine the winner. Okay, 4-3. So that means we had a 4-3 somewhere at some point. No, we didn't. So that means I don't understand what they want from me. So I still don't understand when do we start to play a sub-game. Because, okay, so let's see. Have at least as many cards remaining as the value. Oh, okay. At least as many cards. Okay, so this is 6. Both. Why didn't we play this sub-game in this case then? Holy shit, it's so bad. Okay. Before the player deals a card, if there was a previous round in this game that had exactly the same cards in the same order in the same player's decks, the game instantly ends in a winner for player 1. Previous rounds from other games are not considered. This prevents infinite games or caution combat. Okay. This round's card must be in a new configuration. In a new configuration, the player begins the round by each draw on top. Okay. If both players have at least as many cards. At least as many cards as the values that they just drew. Otherwise, at least one player must not have cards. Okay. Alright. So, okay. So I need to understand why in each of these cases we don't play the next round. So you have, the player 1 has 6 cards. 4, 3. Okay. Alright, so we're playing the sub-game. And sub-game continues when? Okay, the sub-game continues there. And we play in a simple sub-game. And it basically restores the state at which we started this thing. So it basically restores the state at which started. Okay. Alright, so this is the third one. And, Game 4. The winner, player wins, round 3. Post-game results. After the game, the winning player's score is calculated from the cards they have in their original decks, using the same rule as a regular combat. In a both game, the winner player's score is 291. Defending the owner as a raft captain by playing the small crab in a game of recursive combat using the same 2 decks as before. What is the winning player's score? Yeah. Alright, so I need to read this thing one more time. Essentially, it's basically that, but you recurse the simulate game. That's it, actually. Yeah, you basically, at some point, you're gonna have like a condition somewhere here, additional condition, where you're gonna just, you know, do that, and maybe something like, it was not intentional, I'm sorry, something like clone, right? So where you're gonna clone it so it doesn't modify the original decks, and then you're gonna go back and check with us whoever won, right? So that's basically the solution, right? But the problem is that I don't understand the rules. So once I understand the rules, I can probably implement it in this particular fashion, and it should work. That's the gist of it. But the main puzzle here is then to understand what the fuck do you want from me. I don't understand that it at some point has to recurse into the next game, into sub game. But parsing what the fuck is the author is trying to tell us is just fucking pain in the ass. Holy fuck. Oh my god, this is so bad. Alright, let's make a cup of tea. How about that? Imagine doing this if you weren't good at English. Well, I mean, I'm not good at English. Alright, does anyone have any questions, or maybe, you know, you have something to say to me? Feel free to do that right now while I'm making a cup of tea. So, there we go. Yeah. How do you guys like Advent of Code so far? How do you like Advent of Code so far? Is anyone still participating in it? I know Jiang is still participating. Is anyone else participating in it? Thank you, Jiang. I really appreciate it. Day 1 and 2 are pretty good. I see. Well, they're not bad, that's for sure. I'm running out of Earl Grey, unfortunately. I'm running out of Earl Grey. I'll have to at some point go groceries again and buy more Earl Grey. Doing 23 at the moment. Please no spoilers, I didn't read 23 yet, so... Been using it to learn Haskell. Cool. Do you like Haskell so far? The Earl of Grey. Okay. Otherwise, I'm tempted to start a restart from day 1, but in C. I've been doing in C++. Interesting. So you want an extra challenge, or are you done with C++ stuff? The bag is weird. You are weird. Okay. So I'm gonna go to the kitchen and turn on my kettle, and then I go back and we can continue trying to understand the rules. I'm just done with C++. I see. So yeah, I also like simplicity of C compared to C++, but I would still have some, you know, static type, like compile time type related features in C. At least something close to templates, I don't know. Hello. JS, it was actually pretty good when I used it for Advent of Code problem. I came, yes. Before I, the player, deals a card, if there was a previous round in this game that had exactly the same cards in the same order, in the same player's decks, the game instantly ends. I fucking understand what they're trying to say. Yes, I fucking understand what they're trying to say. So essentially, if the state of the game repeats at any point, stop the game. That's what they're trying to say. This state, why couldn't you tell? Okay, so maybe that it would be spoiler in that case, it would be too easy to understand. If the state of the game repeats at any point, stop the game, because you will go into recursion. Because yeah, if at any point in the next state of the game you will go into sub game, it will just repeat itself forever. Okay, thank you. I understand now. Yeah, it's Audio Technica something something. It's actually pretty good, you know, ratio of price and quality. Otherwise, this round cards must be in a new configuration. Okay, so the only thing I need to do, I need to just go for a walk, and yeah, okay, so it reset my brain. I studied. God fucking damn it. Yes. Yeah. Anyway. I have two laptops. I keep one laptop in the kitchen, so just in case I can Google something. Otherwise, this round cards must be in a new configuration. The player's card begin the round by each drawing the top card of their deck as normal. If both players have at least as many cards remaining in their decks as the values at least, so that means the amount of remaining cards should be greater or equal than the value that they drew. So if they have at least, so it has to be greater or equal. All right. Okay. Cool. You see, Googling the solution actually helps to understand everything, right? All right. Otherwise, at least one player must not have enough cards left in their deck. Otherwise, at least one player must not have enough cards in their deck to recurse. The winner of the round is the player with the higher value card. Alright. At least one player must not have enough card left in their deck to recurse. Cool. So you drew 9. So you have 4, and you have 4, we cannot recurse. You have a 2 and 8, so you have 5, you have greater, but this one doesn't have enough cards to recurse, so 6 and 4, you have 4, you cannot. You can, but the other one cannot. The other one cannot. 3, but the other one cannot. Recurse, yeah. Alright, playing a sub-game to determine the winner. And we constantly have to keep track of the state. Have we seen that state before? So, and since the state is actually quite easy, we can just put that into the set, right? We can put it into the set, and we can just keep track of that thing in the set. Okay. We just need to implement that shit. Just need to implement that. Simple as that. Simple as that. How do you clone objects in Java? I remember that Java clone objects, right? Taiwan ago is, to be honest. Oh, why am I reading yeah, deep copy? I need to perform deep copy of an object. Maven setup. Yes, of course. You cannot deep copy an object without a Maven setup. That's for sure. Okay, you can clone them and stuff. Okay. So that means at some point I should be able to clone decks, and that should work. That should work. Okay, so this is the part 1, and I'm gonna introduce the part 2. You save it as JSON alone to another copy. That's a good idea, Cozy White Bear. By the way, hello, Cozy White Bear. Welcome to our epic Groovy stream. Fucking Groovy stream. I think my schedule is ready, so I'm gonna go back, Google a little bit more, and then we can start implementing everything. Yes, I just need another round of Googling. Hello. Hello. So yeah, I've got the tea. I've got the tea. Are you fucking ready, chat? Are you fucking ready? I want to test something super quick. Square wave incoming AP. This is a very like scary message, to be fair, from the bot. Square wave incoming. AP isn't joking. Alright, so I'm gonna do println part 2. And it's gonna be part 2 dex. And in the part 2 dex, what we're gonna do, I want to try something interesting. So essentially I'm gonna have a copy of dex. I think this is not how we're supposed to do that in a Java world. This is how we do that, and I'm gonna just clone it, right? And I'm gonna println both of them. So it's gonna be dex copy of dex. Text Studio. What is Text Studio? Never heard of it. Is that for LaTeX or something? It sounds like something for LaTeX. Yeah, it is something for LaTeX. Oh, never heard of it. When I was using LaTeX, I was just doing that in Emacs, so I never needed that. Do you even have that? Is it good? Is it good? Oh yeah, I do have that. I'm gonna check it out after the game, bro. After the game. Okay. It's a bloat. 22 megabytes. I mean, it's not that much. Come on. It's not that much. Okay, so that didn't work. An illegal reflective access operation has occurred. Illegal reflective access. Clone not supported. Exception. Dex. Clone not supported exception. Dex. That's a very good. That's a very good exception. Okay. Cool. I think it's the time has come for a little bit of a TSMR chat. Are you guys ready for a little bit of a TSMR? So here is my tea. Here is my tea. There we go. So it's not fully actually came out. You have to do something like, and now it should be able to fully. Okay. My hands are too weak for this shit, apparently. Okay. Cool. So yeah, let's continue. So the content has to go on. Alrighty. Let's see. Code. How can we prevent that? This is gonna send me to the bathroom. Yes, that was the entire intent. Oh shit! Why is this code animated? Do I have to implement clone myself? I think that's what I need to do. Class dex implement clonable. I forgot how to implementing clonable and declaring. Okay, so I probably have to implement like clonable or something, like really. I forgot this part of Java. Forgot about it. You're not getting a clone exception, you're getting an error from the compiler that says the since clone method throws a clone not supported exception, you need to either catch. Okay. Clonable requires no, so you can just implement it for free. Okay. Alright. Implements clonable. Is it cloneable? It is cloneable. I want to also do cloneable. Cloneable. Let's read about it. Holy shit! I forgot everything about Java. There's like I'm almost like learning it from scratch. Class implements the clonable interface to indicate to the object method that it is legal for that method to make a field-for-field copy of an instances of that class. Is a fake. It was a very long time ago. Come on. Since then, I actually tried and programmed in so many different languages. It's insane. It's insane how many different languages I tried. It's not free. Okay, we'll see. Okay. A legal reflective access operation has occurred. Use illegal access warrant to enable warnings for further illegal reflective access. Well, please consider reporting this to the maintenance of the courthouse Groovy. Ah, I see. So that's really interesting. So they're trying to use something that is going to be deprecated soon. All right, and this looks very interesting. And it didn't really print anything because... Ah, shit. Yeah, so actually, part 1 consumes... Okay, I see. Okay, we can do something like this. We can actually clone this entire thing then, and every time we pass it, we're gonna clone it by... So yeah, we pass it by value. Why would I work for JetBrains? I mean, do you even have like JetBrains offices in your country? I don't know. And it didn't really work? That's really strange. No, you think okay. Because yeah, I think to work for JetBrains you have to be in either Russia or Europe, because that's where the main offices are. Yeah. Because Java is getting deprecated. Imagine actually the Oracle slowly deprecates the whole language feature by feature without adding new features until there is no language left and the entire Java code base disappeared. How awesome would that be? That's a really interesting way to like erase the language from the history of humanity, like start deprecating it feature by feature. So and force people to adapt their source code to that. What about using Zik tomorrow? No, we're not using Zik. I already talked about that. We already talked about that, and you completely missed that conversation. Okay, so cloning this shit didn't really work for some reason. I don't understand why. Okay, so let's try to something like this. Yeah, fun fact, we use a method from Oracle that is deprecated at work that has no substitute. I can imagine that, because it's a classical JVM situation, especially with like unsafe class, right? Do you guys know the situation with the unsafe class in JVM? It was actually quite some time ago. Yeah, it was quite some time ago, and essentially there was a class that would people use to speed their programs up, but it was completely undocumented and it was like internal thingy, but people still depended on it, and like Sun and Oracle for the longest time tried to make people not use that class because it could be changed at any point. And I think at some point they finally removed it from the public interface completely, so it's not available anymore. Yeah. Starting highlight, you need to overwrite clone. Yeah, I think you need to do that, and you have to like create a new instance and stuff like that. But you still need to implement clonable. I think you still need to do that. And what's the how do you do that? Clonable. So if I take a look at the clone, it has to return an object, but do I have to return an object as well? I think I have to return an object as well. Can I just return dex clone? I need a tutorial. Java clonable tutorial. Show me an example. Object cloning and Java. A Java point. What the hell is this shit, MongoDB OS? All right. Yeah, you have to return this thing. So you also have to clone super. Yeah. Yeah, you have to do that, and I wonder if it's gonna do that. I wonder, can be covariant. Maybe. We're about to find out. There's gonna be throws. We have override, that means the compiler or the runtime will tell us that we're doing something wrong. Throws, no clone support exception. Okay, so that's exactly what we're gonna do here, and we're gonna try to return super, and I feel like it's not gonna actually work, because maybe we'll also have to clone these things separately, but maybe we don't have to do that. We'll see, we'll see. So take some time. Okay, it didn't really fail. Yeah, you have to clone the list yourself. So what I'm thinking is that maybe I just have to, you know, do something like result, create the new dex, and then result player one clone. I think that's sure. And I'm not even sure if this needs to be done like that. Is that how I do that? Do I need to clone the super object? I don't think I need to do that. I don't think I need to do that. Okay. So, and now if I do something like this, it will actually work for all of them, hopefully. Okay, so it did in fact work, so we are working with the copies, and now I want to truly check this thing. So I'm gonna have a copy of dex clone, right? And yeah, after I did a copy, I'm gonna do copy one, player one, and I'm gonna add a bunch of 69s there, right? And then I'm gonna try to print them again, and then the copy, and just confirm that dex was not modified and everything was cloned correctly. Everything was cloned correctly. Yes, it was cloned correctly. So if you take a look at that, so here's the original one, here's the copy, we modified the copy, and everything looks okay. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? I think it's quite beautiful. So we can pass by reference, we can pass by value, and everything works as expected. Cool. So simulate game. So I think we're gonna introduce something like simulate game rec, and it's gonna accept this dex. We're not gonna clone it because it's already cloned for us here, so it doesn't matter. And then we can take the winner score dex as well. So essentially it just takes like a different kind of function here. Yeah, and we're gonna implement it somewhere nearby, right? Somewhere nearby. Oh, we also need to implement the quality, by the way. Right. We'll also need to implement the quality. And probably hashing, because at some point I'll need to store the deck in a set. Oh shit. It's funny how we need to override all these fundamental methods of object. Yes, okay, let's actually see if we can do that. I think it would be nice to have something like, so what would be better, hashing or tree? No deriving clonable, yeah. Okay, so Groovy, maybe Java hash set. Let's read about them. Hash set. So, and what is required there, right? So you have a collection, initial capacity, Java and override name, more iconic duo. Yeah, that is true. So, okay. So I'm gonna actually comment it out. Zozin, just use this library. It solves all your problems. Okay. How do you work with sets in Groovy, by the way? Groovy hash sets. Groovy set examples. Is that really Groovy? I think it is. Oh, you can just, you know, make it a set. Okay. That's cool. All right. So def visited. I'm gonna call it visited, and it's gonna be new hash set. Do I have to provide? I think I can do something like that. So it's gonna be dex new hash set. And if I try to print this entire thing, maybe I might as well actually just return it. Wonder if there is an advent of code JS library on npm that solves each day. Probably. So if I do visited, how do you insert into the hash set? Do you do insert? Do you do insert? Do you do add? Yeah, you do add. Cool. Add dex. Cool. And let's see if that's doing the thing. If that's doing the thing. Okay, so yeah, it added that thing. So if I try to add it twice, what's gonna happen? Good, I'm redeeming myself. Okay. Well, okay, this is because I added exactly the same object, right? I added exactly the same object, so it doesn't count. I might as well actually remove input so it doesn't pollute the output. You're pretending to be wrong, yeah. Okay. Okay, so I added this object twice, it's still nothing, but the ultimate testimony would be to actually add a clone of that object. What's gonna happen? And there you go. We added two identical objects there, and that's kind of sad. That's kind of sad. All right, so let's Google Java hashing. So how do you do hashing? Hashing in Java. NPM has a package for everything. So you found the package for Advent of Code, right? Oh, holy shit, okay. So why did they make it into a package? Like, why? Alright, Advent of Code wasm. Holy, okay, I see. Zozin, just use this library. Do they have 2020 available already? Okay. Why do you even need to write it yourself? Zozin, use this library. Just use this library, come on. I can't open it for some reason. Holy fuck. Why is it so slow? Okay. Oh, it's... Wait a second, it's Rust? We now host Rust projects on NPM? Is that a thing we're doing now? I'm completely out of the loop. Oh my god, we have a raid from Gamozo. Thank you so much for the raid, and welcome everyone to our Advent of Code adventures. That's right. We're solving Advent of Code day 22. I'm like intentionally lagging behind by 1 day because I give people opportunity to solve the problem first. And we are actually using a different language for each day. It's actually like literally torture, but it was interesting. So yeah, we solved 21 problems so far, and we used 21 different fucking languages. Here are all of the languages we used so far. And I ran out of good languages, okay? I ran out of good languages, and we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel, and we are programming in Groovy. So yeah, and I still need to come up with 3 more languages, and yeah, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. So yeah, does anyone even know such language as Groovy? Does anyone know about it? It's like a JVM, like a script in JVM. Well, I mean, maybe we're gonna use COBOL at some point. We'll see, we'll see. So, yeah, we already solved part 1. We're trying to figure out part 2. And I'm more of a like a fighting with the language. Pascal, we already did Pascal, by the way. Just actually go to this repo, seriously, like check it out. It's actually a pretty cool repo. And here are the languages. If you look at that, we did the Pascal. The day 15 was done in Pascal. So, yeah. And this is, by the way, the classical Pascal with integers being 16-bit numbers. Right. I didn't enable any extensions because I use free Pascal. Right, and it's not like no Delphi 7 support, no anything. It's like literally classic Pascal, which people use to develop DOS applications, like in 90s. That's what I use here. Yeah, it was fun. Maybe at some point we're gonna try Fortran. We'll see. You use int60. Okay. Did we have int64 in the DOS times? I don't think so. I think we didn't have int64. Okay, so I cheated a little bit. I'm sorry. Anyway, so today is day 22 and we're doing Groovy. Groovy is like, this thing. It's a mix between Java and Python so far. And it has a pretty good interop with Java, I gotta say. So if you want to use something from Java, so you can just do that. How about that? Is anyone from the Gamoza chat participates in Advent of Code? Do you guys like this kind of stuff? All right, so what I'm trying to figure out is I'm trying to remember how to put an object into a hash table, because I forgot how to do that. Right. So if I have an object and I'm pretty sure I need to implement its hashing or something like that, or maybe I need to implement it equals. Yeah. I have suggestion for Advent of Code using formality language. I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about it. Okay, so Java equal. Right, how do you do that? Difference between equals. Do you have to do something special for equals method? Is that a thing? If I want to overwrite. Yeah, this is something that we can actually check, I think. This is something that can be definitely checked. For example, I can do dex equals dex clone, right? And essentially, if you try to do something like that, it will tell you false, right? Obviously, it will tell you false. And also, this language is very fast. This is a startup time of a scripting language. Okay, as you can see, it's false. Right, and if I try to do equals, it should be also false if I understand things correctly. Yes, it's also false. So I think we need to overwrite equals. Okay. So let's quickly do that. It's going to be overwrite, and I think it's going to be boolean equal. Is it boolean? Yeah, it's boolean equals and object. So we have this, and we're going to have that. It's advisable to keep changes to equals in sync with hash code. Thank you, Captain. Very cool. Okay, so what do we have here? So we can try to do something like, first of all, we need to check if it's instance of that specific class. So if that instance of dex, right? Oh yeah, automatic casting like in Kotlin would be so useful here. I'm starting to understand why people like Kotlin, because you can check for a specific type, and now you don't have to create another variable for that, right? So, but in Groovy, I probably have to do something like this, and it's going to be like that. Def that, and I would assume that this is how you cast the class. Right, and after that, you should be able to do the following thing. This one is going to be false, obviously. And this player 1 have to be equal to that player 1, right? So it's quite important. This player 1 is equal to that player 1, because we have only two fields here, player 1 and player 2. As dex throw exception if it can cast. Oh, okay. As dex. Oh, that's pretty convenient. Thank you. So we have professional Groovy developers in the chat. Nice. That's actually super cool. I really appreciate your professional experience. Thank you for sharing. Cool. So I guess equals is gonna work. Equals is gonna work, hopefully. It is true. You see, it is true now. How about that? And if I try to do that yet again, it has to be false. Which server are you working for? Localhost? I don't understand the question, excuse me. Wait a fucking second. Wait a fucking second. Is Groovy calls equals when you do equal equal? I can see Groovy doing that. I mean, I'm okay with that, I suppose. So sure. Okay. So, and now let's see how all of that is gonna play out with hash tables. I think hash tables are not gonna work because the hash functions are probably gonna be completely different. So the hash functions should be completely different. Yeah, as you can see, even though we overwritten equals, we still can put the same thing into the hash set. So another thing we need to do, we probably need to override the hash code. So let me see, Java hash code. I think it's how it's called, hash code or something. Guide to hash code. Okay. So Java equals and hash code. Let's take a look at that. Is there any examples on how to implement your own hash code? Equals 1. Is it equals 1? That's a nice hash code. Thank you very much. Is it 1 or L? I cannot. This is like a very bad font, but I would expect this to be 1. Yes. Nice hash code. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So you basically multiply them together. All right. That's cool. So hash code is integer. So is that a good thing, class, so you can produce different results? Let's improve a little bit the current hash code implementation. So standard hash code implementation. Yeah, let's actually do a very dumb one, which basically multiplies the hashes. I think that should be all right. Yeah, we should return random. That's a good idea. Just use random hash for the same object every time. Okay, now it's gonna be int hash code, and essentially we're gonna do player 1 I said hash code multiplied by player 2 hash code. Cool. So now if I try to put 2 copies of the same object into the hash set, it should only contain 1, right? Should only contain 1 according to our calculations. There we go. So yeah, that's cool. So we have one object, we put it into the hash set, we cloned it, it's a completely different object with a completely different address, but it has an identical state. We put it again, and it didn't create a copy in the hash table because we overwrite equals and we overwrite the hash code. So everything is as expected. So we can now quite easily keep track of all of the previous states of the game. So it's quite important for the solution. Okay. So we simulate game recursively. This one is actually very interesting. Careful, if one hash code equals 0, everything is equal 0. That's actually a good point. So we can try to do something about that then. So they're actually trying to do that. Let's have a look at the standard implementation that uses 2 primes numbers and more uniqueness to compute hash codes. All right. Can we do something similar? So if you have, well, while it's essential to understand the roles hash code, generates the following implementation. Yep. But they do plus here, right? So they do plus. So maybe we can do plus then? No. So in which situation is going to be 0 though? In which situation is going to be 0? IntelliJ ID generates the following. So this is basically like different suggestions and stuff. They're using 31 because it's a prime number. Right, because it's a prime number. Okay, so I have a couple of ideas maybe. So this is ID. Is that empty hash per se? Maybe, whatever, it doesn't matter. So maybe we're gonna have something like result, where we have that. It's probably not gonna be the best one, right? It's probably not gonna be the best one, but I can try to do something like 31 multiplied by result plus player 2 hash code, right? So, and this is gonna be the result as well, right? So it's kind of similar to that, only we don't have to do this initial part because it's probably already done for us by the player 1 hash code. So yeah, we only need to stack you know, more and more hash codes into that. So maybe it's a good approach. I know nothing about like theory behind hash functions. Maybe I need to look into that a little bit closer. But I think this maybe approach is going to be okay for now. And let's go back. So it's going to be visited. If I add dex, right, and actually the clone of the dex one more time, and just return visited, it should contain only the single object. Cool. Nice. How are we gonna approach all of that? So when are we creating visited? So we can try to create it visited before the game. Right, we created a visited before the game and we pass in visited into each individual sub-game, right? So simulate game rec. It's not implemented yet, but yeah, let's keep them in. That's not my CPU temperature. It's very funny. Okay. Is Groovy actively used anywhere? Yes, here. So this is dex and this is visited. To be fair, if you take a look at the index of languages, right, you will see that Groovy is actually in 11th place. Yeah, right here. And its popularity is growing. So it's kind of similar situation with Java. It's like, because majority of people who program in that language, right, they're really invisible on the internet, because it's like a, I think there is a term for that. I think like I heard the term for that. It's a dark matter developer. Have you guys heard about this term? Popular. Stop making fun of my pronunciation, or I'm gonna start making fun of yours, okay? All right, dark matter developer. So yeah. Dark matter developers. The unseen majority, right? So it's like 99% of developers, you don't even see them because they're just, 9 to 5 family people who just, work on their project for like 30 years. They don't like go on Stack Overflow or anything. They're just doing their own thing for their specific company. And when people look at the statistics and realize that the Java is one of the most used languages and they don't see that many Java projects on GitHub, they get really surprised. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Where are all of this, all of the developers? Why don't I see more and more projects on GitHub, like in Java? Like, well, this is because they're not on GitHub. They're in private repos in these enterprise companies and stuff like that. So yeah, what the fuck? Where is Java? All right, so let me see. Let's continue. Put 10 minutes, I think. 10 minutes should be okay. Okay, so what do we got? What do we got? Yeah, let's actually implement all of that. So it's going to be really similar to the original game, right? It's going to be really similar to the original game. Only we'll have to recurse everything. And I wonder, when do I put the state of the game into this stuff? Nah, you don't have to. It's actually pretty innocent. It's just I'm a little bit afraid that it can escalate really quickly. So that's why I put the forward mode. It's just once you get like crazy people into the chat, you don't know what to expect from them. So yeah. Okay, let's actually continue. So there's two conditions. I'm crazy, by the way. Before either deals. So one of the things here is Dex player 1, right? So this is the first condition. Wait a second. I think I forgot to do this thing. It kind of worked. It kind of worked out. But yeah. Not equal 0 and so this thing should also return who won. Alright, simulate game should return who won. And this is quite interesting because we need a function that determines who won, right? And it also will accept visited because it's gonna use visited to check the current state and stuff, right? Alright. Who won? Like, right? Who won? And we can accept. I need to take a look at the one time. Before either player deals a card, if there was a previous round in the game that had exactly the same card. Okay, so that makes sense. That means we can do Dex and Visited. Winner. Maybe like winner condition or something like that. I think it has to be called the rec winner condition. A rec winner condition because we're doing a recursive game, right? So what we do here is we check if visited contains the current dex, right? If they contain that, let's take a look at Java hash set. Java hash set. So does it have a method contains? Returns true if the set contains the specified elements. Nice. So if this thing contains this, we return 1. Okay, the player 1 won, right? Because that's the condition. If we already saw that state before, player 1 wins. Otherwise, if dex player 1 size equal 0, right? And player 2 size is greater than 0, that means we're gonna return 1 again. Else if... How don't you confuse the syntax of languages? Why do you think I do not? Okay, so this one is gonna be greater than 0. And this one is gonna be equals than 0. In that case, we're gonna return 2, right? And I guess that's it. Otherwise, I think we can check for that condition first. I think it's going to be easier to check for that condition first. This one equals 0 and this one equals 0. So, and this has to be unreachable in my opinion. So it's going to be assert false unreachable. Both players somehow ended up with no cards. So this is like a really unreachable state, and we might as well put that first, so it's a little bit easier to check the other conditions, right? So essentially like this, right? Greater than 1. So if it's 1 equals 0, only 1 equals 0, it's going to be 1. If it's only 2 equals 0, that we're gonna do 1. Okay, and then we're gonna do what? After that, we checked everything, and this one is gonna be 0, and that means that nobody won so far yet. Nobody won. So, and yep. And here is the simulation. We're running the simulation, rec winner condition, dex visited equals 0, right? And I suppose here we'll have to implement this thing itself. And we may want to return this condition yet again. Luckily, this is actually super quick to compute. I can do it like the second time. It would be better to assign it to a variable once and don't worry about it ever. But I'm not really sure how to do that. So we can have something like... I don't know, I think this is the easiest way to do that, but I would like to not repeat it that often. So if we have something like def... winner, right, winner 0, can we do something like winner equal and like this? Is that a thing we can do? And then we can just return the winner. Oh shit, then we can just return the winner. You see what I'm talking about? Pretty cool. While we didn't determine any winners, we have to play this stuff, right? Cool. So what we're essentially doing is this thing. So we're popping out these things. Okay, previous rounds. Otherwise, the rounds card must be in a new configuration. The player begin in a round. Okay. If both players have at least as many cards remaining in their decks as the value of the card they drew, the winner round is determined by the playing the new game of recursive combat. So yeah, essentially, if A1 again, this messes with my brain a little bit. Remaining in their decks at least. Okay, so that means I take dex player 1 size. It has to be right, at least as many, so it could be equal or greater. So equal A1 n and 2. I really hope I got that right. Let me read it, because at least always messes up in my brain. But both players have at least as many cards remaining in their deck as the value of the card that they just drew. At least, so it could be equal and greater. So that's exactly the condition. Cool. And this is where we have to start playing this thing yet again. we put the decks here, but we have to clone them because we have to restore the original state afterwards, right? And we put visited here. And visited we don't have to clone because it's global for all of the games, right? It's global for all of the games because at some point we need to check the condition. So somewhere at this point we'll have to check for like we'll have to push the state to the visited states, but I'm not sure how we're gonna do that. I don't think we should do that here, because if I push this state into the visited states right here, right, that means the simulation game is gonna be over at this condition right away. So I don't think this is where we have to do that, so it's not really appropriate place for that. Okay, so then here is the winner, right? So we're gonna do it something like sub-winner. Here's a sub-winner, and depending on who won, right, so we're gonna have something like that. Do we have like a switch case in Groovy? Well, we do, because Groovy is a superset of Java. By the way, chat, is everything okay? The chat is a little bit dead, so I worried maybe something with my stream. The stream is okay, it's just everyone is like listening to what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so if sub-winner, yeah, switch sub-winner, I think I can do something, okay, so it does work. If it's 1, do I have to blue break? Okay, if it's 1, the just sigfold it. Okay, and in which order we'll have to put them though? If both players have at least as many cards remaining in their deck as the values of the card they just drew, the winner of the round is determined by the playing a new game of recursive combat. See below. Okay, so so that means where is the first sub game? Playing sub game to determine the winner. So game 1 and game 3. Okay. So what's interesting is that the player 1 would win in this situation in the previous rules, right? But if we scroll down below, player 2 won. No, player 2 won. And back to the game 1. So, and we put 3-4. For the player 2 we put 3-4, but yeah. So it's kind of similar. So if player 1 has won, we'll have to do this thing. Right? We'll have to do this thing. Right. If it's a player 2, we'll have to do this thing. I suppose the ordering is still the same. I think it's gonna be like still the same. So, and in case of anything else, this is assertion. It's false, and we're gonna say sub game results. Unexpected sub game results, and we can just return the sub winner and see how it goes. Right, so yeah. Otherwise, we're starting the same situation here, right? We can probably even copy paste think like this, right? So if it's that, we add in this state here. If it's that, we add in that state here, and then at some point a reachable state of the game. Players had equal. Players drew equal cards. There we go. So this is another situation that should probably never happen, but if it happens, we're going to be ready for that. All right. So the only thing we don't do here, we don't save the state of the game ever anywhere, which is kind of interesting. All right. So look, We definitely don't push the state here, right? As already said, if we do visited add dex clone, it's gonna fuck up the next recursive call. We can try to do that afterwards, right? We can try to do that afterwards. So we play this game, right? And then we add it here. So, and what's funny is that we can try to do that before we're modifying any of these things. We're adding that state before modifying everything, like this. Before modifying everything. Yeah, and in this particular case, we're also adding them before modifying anything. So that's quite important. Yeah. We may try to get rid of the duplicate code, but apart from that, I think that's it. I do think so. Did I forget anything? Did I forget anything? I think that's it. Okay. So here's the part 2. So this is the recursive thing, and then we calculate the winner score the same way as we calculated before, right? So after the game, the winner player score is calculated from the cards they have had in their original deck using the same rules as regular combat. In the above example, the winner player score is 295. Okay, cool. So if I go here now, so I only have a sample, and let's see how badly we screwed up. I don't know, maybe we screwed up quite badly, maybe we didn't. And yeah, we fucked up. We really fucked up. Okay, so we can start by tracing the games, right? We can start by tracing the games, and maybe even counting the games as well. So it's gonna be like game count, right? This is gonna be a game count. Maybe just count. Let's call it count. I think it's gonna be okay. Part 1. So this is gonna be game 1, right? As I already mentioned. And every time you do that recursively, you do count +1, right? Then. Do we keep track of the rounds as well? We can try to do that. So we have like a round and so on and so forth. So because of that, maybe it makes sense to call it a game. And then we can have a round, which is initially 1. And at the end of that round, you always increment that round, right? Something like this. So that will help us to trace all of that a little bit easier. And then we can do something like this. So it's going to be println. Okay, round, game, game, right? And then we can println the current state of the dex. And let's see what's gonna happen in case of the part 2. And we can just compare the traces. We can simply compare the traces and see where exactly we fucked up. Alright, so here is the traces. And the result turned out to be 3, 4, 8. We also have part... Yeah, so here's the part 1. Part 1 doesn't trace anything, so it should be okay. Should be okay. And then we can just compare those things. Do we need to do that? Okay. So 9, 2, 1. 2, 6, 8, 4. So far so good. So the round 3. FK4OS. Thank you so much for Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you. And welcome to our epic advent of Code Club. That's right. Welcome. So, okay, I can do something like this. Yeah, it does matches. Then I can take something like this. So I'm pretty sure at some point I made a oopsie doopsie and fucky wacky. Round 5. Is that round 6? Is that? I'm gonna go until that. And round 9, game 1 is 4, 9, 8, 52, 3, 10, 1. Okay. So might as well actually copy paste the entire trace. Somewhere here. It's gonna be temporary too. So we have like 31 around in here. Temp 3. Might as well copy paste this entire trace so I can use the same editor though. I think that's finally I see a good use of Groovy, not the usual Jenkins bullshit. Is it used on Jenkins usually? Interesting. Okay. So we have round 31, and where do we end? Actually, yeah, we have more rounds than I expected. So I definitely fucked up somewhere, and I wonder where exactly. Maybe I didn't clone things enough. That could be the case. Maybe I didn't clone things enough. So when I pass, okay, simulate game wrecked. I kind of want to clone it just in case, right? Simulate game wrecked. So when I pass in it there, I clone it, and then I clone it twice here. Clone it, and then we modify everything. So yeah. So basically what I need to do, I just need to go through the trace and find where it starts to deviate. But it's kind of meh. It's kind of meh. We can also, every time we determine a winner, we can just print it as well. So let's quickly do that. Print ln winner, and it's gonna be sub-winner. Sub-winner. It's double N, of course. Winner is that, and here we can print ln winner 1, and this is winner 2. I'm just afraid that maybe I'm simply pushing the elements not in the correct order. So that could be the case. And something went completely wrong. Missing property length. Where's the length? Where did I use length? Wait. How did that happen? Did I accidentally modify that? It's supposed to be size. The fuck? Now it's 93. Okay, let's try to read the rules one more time. Let's read the rules one more time. Oh, we have 8 raiders from the Indie Mag G. Thank you for the raid and welcome. So we're doing Groovy development. If there was a previous round in this game that had exactly the same cards in the same order, ends in a win for player 1. So, and I think we took that into account for sure, right? So, winning condition. So, if we already visited those decks, right? So, player 1 instantly wins. If both of the decks are 0, that means it's unreachable state. Player 1 is 0, that means 1 head win. Wait a second. Wins the one who has the full... The winner is the one who has all the cards. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. I'm glad I checked it out. Come on, you can do that. I'm a beggar. I'm a huge beggar. It's still 93. And also part is 0. Part 1 shouldn't be 0. Okay, I messed up something. So I think I messed up the winner score or something. Where is the score? Okay. So if it's size greater than 0, Zhigang is back, champion of the arena. Welcome back. How are you doing? Okay, so 306 is correct, 78 is not correct. 78 is not correct, and I have no idea why it is like that. Excuse me. Alright. Okay, so the first one wins. If both of them are 0, that means something's fishy. So if dex play greater than 0, and this one. Okay. Okay, I'm getting a little bit tired. I'm getting a little bit tired, but at least I'm realizing my mistakes. So maybe I will eventually solve it. Please, please. I hope. Still 78. Why is it 78? I might assume it's incorrect because your solution has mistake or several mistakes. Ah, okay. That explains it. That explains it. So visited 1. If both of them are 0, incorrect. If this thing is greater than 0, but the second one is 0, we won first one. If this thing is greater than 0, 0, and this thing is 0, this one. Otherwise, we have not won so far. So, and while the winner, right, is equal to 0, we keep repeating this thing and then we return the winner. Alright, so we check this thing. If both of these are equal, we simulate the game. Shouldn't winner condition be equal to the deck size? No. So it should become like empty. I need to read the rules one more time. Because I'm pretty sure I'm misunderstanding them. If there was a previous round where we had something like that, instantly ends. Previous rounds for the games are not considered. Previous rounds from other games. I think I missed this statement. Okay. Before either player deals, if there was a previous round in this game, in this specific game, okay, I'm Pepega. So if the previous in this specific game, the rounds from other games are not considered. So that means am I visited? Holy shit, okay. The puzzle is not the problem itself. The puzzle is trying to understand what the fuck they want from you. Okay, so we don't need to do visited here, right? So this shit is completely redundant, right? And visited is essentially this thing, right? Visited new hash set of decks, right? Hash set of decks, we don't have to accept the visited here. Simulate game rec. We don't have to push this visited here. Right. In this specific game. Alright, so are not considered. The rounds card must be in new configuration. The player, okay. Cool. So is there any way for me to easily disable the tracing? Can it stop touching my head for some reason? Well, I know the reason actually. The reason is pretty simple. Okay, part 2. Well, I know what's going on. We need to remove clone. Yes, because this line relies on this function modifying the dex, and I put clone there. Yes, I fucked myself over because of that. Cool. So it shouldn't be modified for the other things, but yeah. There we go. 291, 291. Is it 291? There we go, it's a 291. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So let's take a look at all of the tracing, debug tracing. So I might as well actually put something like debug here, right? So it's easier to find in the future and redisable if I fuck myself over one more time. Right, something like debug. And now I should be able to do find debug, right? And just like that. Like that, cool. And then I can re-enable it again. I don't have like a preprocessor or something, but yeah. So here's the sample, and sample returns correct results so far as I can tell. It still traces this shit. Okay, so where is the another printer? Oh yeah, there we go. So we can do something like this, debug. 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 Okay, so these are correct results. Chat, I need your help. I need your help. Somebody issue the command. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And is it gonna be the POG moment we've been waiting for? Is Groovy that slow? I don't know why, but I expected something like that, yeah. Oh no. Not this slow. Yeah. Java. Interesting. Alright, so okay. I've chosen the right language, what can I say? Nice. We can enable tracing, right? We can enable tracing though. And it's probably going to make it slower, but we can, you know, just do that. Debug, like this, like this. And where is my terminal? This is my terminal. I need to rearrange some things. Alright, so, and I'm gonna redirect all of that to the output txt, and we'll see how it goes. Right, we'll see how it goes. Groovy and tail -f output txt, and so the game 1. So game 12. So far we have a game 12 or something. It's going relatively fast. Round 85, game 9. Encoder goes brr, brr. I'm sorry for the encoder though. Game 10, we're still on game 10 though. We're still on game 10. Should I wait? Should I wait though? Did it stuck on the game 10? Wait a fucking second. Game 11 round. Is that normal? Is that normal? I don't think it's normal though. That seems a bit sus. Yes, I do agree. Yeah, shit ton of rounds. Okay, so let me read the rules one more time. Maybe I just missed them. Missed something. Before the player deals a card, if there was a previous round in this game that had exactly the same cards, in the same order, in the same player's decks, the game instantly ends in a win for player 1. Previous rounds for other games are not considered. This prevents infinite games of recursive combat, which everyone agrees is a bad idea. Okay. Alright. Otherwise, this round's card must be in a new configuration. The players begin the round by each drawing the top cards of their deck as normal. Alright. If both players have at least as many cards remaining in their decks as the value of the cards they just drew, the winner of the round is determined by playing a new game of recursive combat. Okay. Otherwise, at least one player must not have enough cards left in their deck to recurse. The winner of the round is the player with the higher value card. Okay. As in regular combat, the winner of the round, if they won the round by winning a subgame, takes the 2 cards dealt at the beginning of the round and places them on the bottom of their own deck again, so that the winner's card is above the other cards. I think I took that. Know that the winner's card might be the lower value of the 2 cards. Okay. If they won the round due to the winning a subgame. If collecting cards by winning the round causes the player to have all of the cards, they win and the game ends. Alright, that's very interesting, and I think I take all of that into account. Right, so we only considered visited decks for that specific game and for nothing else for that specific game. Alright, so that's why we created new visited every time we start a new game. Okay, so and then we take a look at the rect winner condition. Right, if we see the decks that we already saw before, it's the player 1. Okay. So, if we have a situation, like this is an impossible situation, but I still check for it just in case. So player 1 size greater than 0, but player 2 size is 0. That means player 1 won, so they ran out of cards. If the player 2 size is bigger than 0 and player 1 size is equal to 0, it's player 2. Otherwise, nobody won so far, the game continues. Right, okay, and we save the winner here. And while it's equal, we continue the loop, and once we determine the winner, we return that winner, and we know who won. Alright, so cool. Pop, as far as I know, pop is the same as here, so we do the pop and we take a look at the cards. If the values, okay, so this is the most important condition. If both players have at least as many cards remaining in the deck as the values of the card they just drew, at least equal or greater, right? So the size is equal or greater of the cards that they just drew, and here it is, here is the condition. Cool. So that means we have to start playing a sub game, right? So we clone the decks. Alright, to be fair, we can actually put this thing here, because we're not sharing visited, right? We're not sharing visited, so that means we can just put it here after we already checked the condition, and we can remove these things at least. I don't think if it improves anything. Right. You're missing a condition. The decks shouldn't be cloned. I don't understand what you mean yet. Okay. Subgame. Okay. See below a new game of recursive combat. In a regular combat, the winner. Here's example of small game during the round. Okay. Primary game. After the game, the winner's score is calculated. I don't think I missed anything. Okay, so we clone the deck, it's already visited. We pop their players. And we put it there. And then we add them back. Why are you saying they shouldn't be cloned? Okay, let me take a look at the trace. So we're starting here, and then we continue from here, up until the game returns back to game 1. Well, I mean, we like recover the previous state. That means we need to clone them. Like I literally looking at the trace, and we need to clone them. Like according first on the first round of the game, of the sub game. Yes. Okay. So we remove these things, and then what the fuck? Where is 6? Where did 6 go? We had 6 here, where did it go? What the fuck? Like, they didn't even say anything about that. If players have at least many cards remaining in the deck as well as the card they just drew, the winner of the... To play a game... To play a sub-game, each player creates new deck by making a copy of the next cards in their decks. Holy shit, I completely missed. Oh my god. Why is it so bad? What is this? What is this problem challenging even? What is it challenging? Your ability to read? I'm like really bad at reading. To play a sub-game of recursive, each player creates a new deck by making a copy of their next cards. What is that? Does this mean? The quantity of cards copied is equal to the number of the cards they drew to trigger. Okay. Holy shit, it's so bad. Okay. Can we have a constructor? Well, I guess I didn't solve this problem either. This entire advent of code is a huge disappointment. Can I not provide these things? Let's see if I cannot provide these things. Alright, so this player 1. Player 1. Holy shit. So, and is it possible to do a take? So Groovy list. I don't need to construct a pass name parameter to default constructors. Well, too bad, I already implemented it. I don't know where you've been. Like, I would appreciate if you told me that before I did that, so... returns the first num elements of the head of the list. So I suppose it creates a new list every time, right? Returns a num list, returns a list. Does it return a new list? I would assume yes. I would assume, but you never know. You actually need to check that, I think. You actually need to check that. So you can do something like x 1 2 3 4. So this is the list, right? But what list am I using? I'm just using, yeah, I'm using this list. So, and then I can do something like wise x's take 2 of them, and then I can add 69 and 420, right? And see, let's see if it's gonna do the thing. Wise. All right. So is it gonna do the trick? Is it gonna do the trick? Couldn't find a constructor for Dex. Where did it fail? It failed at 44. Okay. So can I do it like that? I just want to check if it creates a new list, so I don't need to check like anything else. It's such a simple thing. Couldn't find, okay, 17. Well, to be fair, this one is easier to implement then. There's just one, this one is easier to implement. So, and then we can just do it like that. Why is this compilation so slow? Java! Nuffly, if I have one piece of advice to you, it would be never dedicate your life to Java development. Like, if somebody suggests you like some sort of a work in a particular language, right? Look into that language and double check if it's based on JVM. Never accept any job in JVM based languages. Fucking ever. Don't do that. It's gonna fuck up your life and you won't be able to recover from that. So yeah. Anyways, so it does create like a separate list. So look at me now. So that's the result. You lose your hair, you have no job. That's the result of JVM. So it is what it is. Okay. Now, yeah, so we need to create a new one. So new Dex is gonna be Dex player. Why, like, holy fuck, why didn't you put that into a single place? Is that a challenge? The challenge is actually piecing together all of these rules, but not actually implementing that. How is that even advent of code then? Advent of code, or maybe word code here used in a sense of like cipher, you know, code. Like, you see what I mean? Yeah, like it's maybe that's what they mean by word code. I don't know, like Enigma code. Yeah, exactly. I'm so pissed off, like seriously. But this is because I'm bad. I'm mad because of bad, right? So anyway, to play a subgame of recursive copy of the next card, the quantity of cards copied is equal to the number of the cards they drew during this okay. The quantity of the cards copied is equal to the number on the card they drew. Okay. cool. But other years, but people say yes. People say yes. But I never tried the other years though. So that's the thing we have to do instead of cloning, as far as I can tell. Oh yeah, I can just do it like that. Cool. So then we can have game +1. Nice. So how many times I do dex clone? So well, I still need dex clone because I need to, you know, put it into the visited. So I still need all of that. Cool. It's been steadily getting worse. Yeah. Well, I mean, essentially, like, the problem with all of these competitions is that it's really hard to control the difficulty of the competitions, right? And as the competitions become more and more popular, the probability of very strong players coming in becomes higher. So the organizers have to come up with artificial ways of making the problems harder to sort of like meet up the expectations of the best players, right? So, and those artificial ways include making these kind of descriptions that have nothing to do with the actual problem. So it's just like artificial clutter to get through. So it's a little bit more difficult for the top players to solve it in 5 seconds or something like that, right? So this like situation put to extreme can be observed on Code Forces, for example, right? If you take a look at like some of the problems on Code Forces these days, they are even more cryptic than that sometimes. I think at some point they're gonna actually make it difficult to read, not with more words, but by actually changing the case of the letters, or maybe using Zalgification, right? So maybe at some point they're gonna literally use like a Zalga like that, so it's more difficult to read because they ran out of ways of making the problem more difficult. So, and I can actually see them doing that, right? So I wouldn't be surprised, like, seriously. Yeah. Challenge is written in capture, yes. Because in computer science, there's not that many ways of making problem more difficult, except adding piles on top of piles of phases that you have to go through, or like making description more difficult to read. So that's kind of the problem you have to deal with. All right. So, and I'm speaking from the perspective of the organizers. So, all right. So looks good. And let me see. So we're not included input. I'm not going to include input for now. I'm going to only take a look at this sample. Guess the key to read the problem. Yeah. Okay, so far I didn't break any of the solutions, and maybe I want to get rid of the debug because it's not gonna help me to become an epic cooder. Monk Omega. Haha! Ah, very funny joke. Lazy Greed, what's up? Do you like Groovy? How's it going, Lazy Greed? Really glad to see you. Okay, yeah. They already can't manage problems complexity well. They include multiple tests input. Yeah, I think it's just like the result of the same problem. Like there's something like fundamentally limiting in the programming competitions. It's going fine. Nice. I'm really glad to hear that. All right. So let's go to makefile. It's just like at some point these kind of problems become really perverted, and there's nothing much we can do about that. Okay. So the answer was 3597, and I suppose this is going to be the final result. All right. Let me double check. 31.120. And yeah, one golden star. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Jiang. I suppose. Well, yeah, I didn't solve that problem either, okay? I didn't solve that problem either. Because if not Jiang pointing out that I missed the paragraph, I wouldn't solve it. So I guess I'm not a god coder after all. So yeah. Well, I mean, it's okay. So I already kind of accepted that I'm not really good at programming. So, but yeah. What's up, Anaboth? Welcome back. Look at that. We solved both of the parts. We solved both of the parts. And yeah, the Groovy is done. The Groovy is done. Oh, you ordered sushi? Bon appétit, my friend. Bon appétit. Okay, so let's go and do a committee. How about that? Are you ready for a little bit of a committee? And maybe even a pushy. So this is how we're gonna go about that. I'm gonna create a readme and let's document our solution. So I usually document this solution, and it's gonna be day 22. Day 22, and we're gonna put a thing here, solution in Groovy. Solution in Groovy, and there we go. Not writing Java talks. I'm sorry, I'm not a real Java. God fucking damn it, mate. It debated me again. This fucking bot debated me like the third time already. Holy fuck. Okay. Goddamn Zoomer bot debating my boomer language. Okay, so test it on. And we're gonna provide the environment for which we tested all of that. So, so JVM. Version of the JVM. Groovy bot, best bot. Do you use it? I never heard about it. It was their plan all along. Yeah, it looks like it. I don't know why I'm doing that. I cannot access TeamUX clipboards anyway, so delete trailing white spaces. And okay, so another thing. Oh, okay. That was weird. So, and the next thing, I need to check the version of the Groovy. So the version of the Groovy. So what's the version of the Groovy? I cannot have it here. So because I'm in the wrong environment. Wait a second. My previous solution was running all alone while I was writing it. Well, wait a second. I didn't realize that it was running, and the size of the... I already removed it. Okay. And then I was surprised why my computer is so slow. Okay. Okay, at least I don't have any JVMs running right now. Professional software. Well, I'm not a professional software developer. Okay, so we have, here's the Groovy version. Oh, it also prints the version of the JVM as well, so we don't need the version of the JVM. That's nice. Okay, so but I'm gonna provide both of them. So expected results. Result is gonna be what? We're gonna take a look at the compilation of our nation. Is gonna be this thing. So this is expected result. Cool. Quick start. So how to set that up? Install Groovy. Install Groovy. How do you install Groovy? You have to literally download it from the official website. Oh, that's very interesting. Huh. I cannot... Okay, so let's actually give it like this. Okay, install Groovy, and to be fair, you also have to set up JVM properly. I'm gonna copy paste some of the instructions from the Scala, and it's kind of similar. Install JDK and make sure that Java is available and Java home is set up and everything like that. So then install Groovy and make sure Groovy is available at path. Okay, well, just install Groovy. Then point Groovy home environment variable to the Groovy distribution, and also make sure Groovy executable is available in path, then just make. So I hope this is sufficient enough. Hopefully that this is sufficient enough. And I think we're ready to do a committee. Okay, so 22, and what we're gonna have here, so add day 22 solution in Groovy. That's what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna push that right into the repo. You can find all of the solutions here. You can find them all here, and yeah, let's take a look at them. We solved 22 days in 22 different languages. 22 different languages. Just look. Oh my god, I'm going crazy. I'm literally going crazy. And GitHub cannot keep up with the amount of languages we tried, so it says that we have others 57%. It doesn't even show all of the languages, like more than half of the languages like cannot fit here. So that's how many of them we have here. By the way, don't choose something too weird for tomorrow. Okay. That's really promising. Week. Alright, so tomorrow would be great for Bash. Okay, sure. I don't really have that many not weird options. That's the problem. There's not that many not weird options. So oak, maybe oak. We'll see about that. I wasted all of the good languages before day. So look at the first languages like Rust, Haskell, Java, D, C++, Python, Go, JS, so Camel, C, and Nim was okayish. So yeah, I guess I could continue doing Vodus today, but to be fair, for the last 2 streams I've been streaming like 4 or 5 hours, and I think today I'm gonna make a shorter stream because I'm a little bit tired on that on that advent of code thingy. No Pascal, we had Pascal, come on. So here's the Pascal, day 15. Day 15, why not R? Because I hate it. Small talk, no, I hate it. I'm not gonna use that language, I hate it. I hate all of them. So, okay. Yeah, so I'm not gonna continue streaming anymore because the previous streams were kind of difficult. Why not Swift? I hate it! Because I hate it! Objective-C, I hate it! Julia, I hate it! Well, actually, we had Julia recently. Julia was day 20. Lisp already here. I hate Lisp! I hate! I hate Common Lisp! Hello Thresh5, welcome to the stream. So yeah, we already tried Racket as well if you're talking about Lisp, right? So to be fair, are we going to consider different kinds of Lisp as different languages? That's the interesting question. I think we should, because they have similar syntaxes, but they have slightly different semantics. So if we shouldn't treat different kinds of Lisps as different languages, we shouldn't treat C and JavaScript as different languages as well, because they have C syntax, C-like syntax, and slightly different well, I mean, semantic is quite dramatically different, but you see what I mean, right? So I think they are, different languages. And to be fair, code that is written in Clojure cannot be run using Racket. So I think that's quite a good, criteria. You will have to make too many changes to run code in Clojure on Racket. So they are different languages. And anyway, it is time for me to go, boys and girls. It is time for me to go. Thanks everyone who's watching right now. I really appreciate it. Have a good one, and I see you. I guess tomorrow is a day off. I think tomorrow is a day off, but I'm gonna stream tomorrow anyway. Because we need to solve another advent of code problem. So yeah, stay tuned. Tomorrow probably gonna be a stream, but I'm not sure when I'm gonna start tomorrow exactly. Check out our schedule for more information on different projects we're working on and stuff like that. Also check out our VODs channel where we archive the recordings of our streams. This stream is gonna be there, but tomorrow we archive them on the next day. And check out our Discord server for offline discussion with the community. And yeah, let's maybe rate somebody. So we got rated by Gamozo today, so we should rate someone else as well. Do you guys have any suggestions on who should we rate? Any suggestions on rating? Last Miles. We haven't rated Last Miles for quite some time. I'm down to rate Last Miles. If yeah, if he's doing something interesting right now, he's, you know, doing nothing interesting, I don't know. So let me see. Have you done PHP? Check the repo. So I'm gonna show you a trick. So you take this repo, you go there, right? You go to this repo. It's quite important actually. I need to wait some time because I have a potato laptop, right? Okay, so imagine a use case. You have a question. Zozin, have you used that language before? Okay, you go to the repo, you press Control F, and you put that language there. And it finds it. Look at that. So you don't even need to ask me. You just go there, press Control F, and you can check out whether I used that language before or not. How about that? Isn't that amazing? This is the 2020 technology we've been waiting for. Thank you so much. Yes, I know. It's worth money. Yeah, it's really PogChamp. Thank you so much for 3 months of Twitch Prime subscription, and welcome back to our epic Control F club. So yeah. This is how you can essentially do that. So just go there, Control F, and you can check out the language. All right. So what Gandalf is doing today? Is he doing epic development? Okay, he's doing something interesting. So let's actually rate him. 2 webcams. Yeah, it's him from different angles. So let's do a raid. And yeah, all right. Get ready for the raid, and I see you all tomorrow. Love you all. Mwah.